Good evening and welcome to the Manteno Village Board meeting for Monday, April 4th, 2022. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Boyce?
Here.
Martin?
Here.
Dole?
Here.
Crockett?
Here.
Geske?
Here.
Phillips?
Here.
We have a quorum tonight. As always, we begin with the approval of the minutes. In everyone's packet tonight, we have the minutes from our March 21st board meeting. Hopefully everyone's had the opportunity to review them. Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, changes? Seeing none, I accept a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented by the clerk.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Crockett,
Second.
second by Dole. Roll call.
Crockett?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Public participation. Nobody's here. Chris, you haven't received anything from anybody, have you?
I have not.
Okay. Reports of the officers, village president's report, just one item tonight. We have a proclamation that we were asked to read and to proclaim for the month of April, and this is April is Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation. Whereas preventing child abuse and neglect is a community problem that depends on involvement among people throughout the community, and whereas we all have a responsibility as individuals, neighbors, community members, and citizens of the village of Manteno, and whereas safe and healthy childhoods produce confident and successful adults, and whereas child abuse and neglect often occurs when people find themselves in stressful situations without community resources and don't know how to cope. And whereas the majority of child abuse cases stem from situations and conditions that are preventable in an engaged and supportive community, and whereas child abuse and neglect can be reduced by making sure each family has the support they need in raising their children in a safe, nurturing environment. And whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships created among social service agencies, schools, faith communities, civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. Now therefore, I, Timothy O. Nugent, by the virtue of the authority vested in me as the village president of the village of Manteno, Illinois, do hereby proclaim April 2022 as Child Abuse Prevention Month and call upon citizens, community agencies, faith groups, medical facilities, and businesses to increase their participation in our efforts to support families, thereby preventing child abuse and strengthening the community in which we live. This will be signed and sent to the organization in charge of the asking or requesting the proclamation. I have no other business under my report. Village Administrator's report, Mr. LaRock.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have the latest Manteno Matters video.
Hello, this is Manteno Matters, where we share a quick rundown from the village of Manteno. The village is proud to offer our Hometown Heroes banner program, which you can see behind me. This program is for current or former residents of Manteno who have served or are currently serving our country in a branch of military. Reserve your flag by visiting Village Hall for a form or find it on our website. We would like to make sure that we give all of our new residents a warm welcome, so we have partnered with the Manteno Chamber of Commerce to put together these new resident welcome bags. Important information, village resources, and local businesses are all included. The bags are available through realtors, the Manteno Public Library, schools, and can also be picked up at Village Hall.
Well, my mother was raised in Manteno, and she and my father got married and made Manteno their home, and we just stayed here forever. I've been on the village board. I have been a mail carrier. I spent my career delivering mail. So we have people from all over the world, and they come to our small community, and they're amazed at what we have. A lot of good people live here. We all help each other. If somebody's sick, we go to their aid. If somebody has cancer, we have fundraisers. Even though we may not be related, we're all family.
Do you have any old electronics that you're looking to dispose of? Well, if so, we have a solution for you. The village is proud to partner with the Kankakee County Board in an e-waste recycling program. Head to Belson Steel Scrap at 1685 North State Route 50 in Bourbonnais. Your photo ID will be required, and you can drop off your e-waste during their open hours. Accepted items are TVs, computers, all cordless appliances, printers, fax machines, radios, scanners, stereos, calculators, DVD players, video game consoles, digital converter boxes, cable receivers, and keyboards. And parents, save the date for April 9th because the Easter Bunny is coming to town. Pictures with the bunny are from 10 to 10:50, and the Easter egg dash starts at 11 in Heritage Park.
Remember, Manteno matters because of you.
That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Rock. Committee reports, Public Works and Utilities, Mr. Boyce.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I got a couple items tonight. A motion to approve a 3-year maintenance service contract with Scenic Landscaping, Manteno, Illinois, for $17,600 per year. We decided to, instead of doing a 1-year thing, we decided to lock it in for 3. So, my next item
Just
is...
a comment too, this is something we first started last year, and we have the Manteno company, the Scenic Landscaping, take care of the maintenance for, the plaza on Main Street, is the Memorial Park and Jacobs Park?
Phipps
Garden
over
at
at
Heritage.
Correct.
Right. We obviously, the Public Works, takes care of all the other parks, but, these kind of requires more special attention, and they're very highly visible, spots. And last year, we kind of did it as an experiment. It worked out very well, and so now we're trying to lock it in for a couple more years.
My next item is a motion to waive the bid requirements and award the bids for the stonework on the Manteno Gateway columns to Knott's Masonry Construction, Manteno, Illinois, for a cost of $53,800. We're just trying to stay ahead of the program to get the stonework ordered because the lead time on everything is so long. My next Public Works meeting is 4/26/2022 at 7 a.m. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Boyce. Properties and Recreation, Mr. Martin.
We really don't have a lot of old or new business, but we're going to have our first Parks and Recreation Commission meeting Wednesday, the 4/20/22 of this year. Jim, want to get an update on what's going on with the parks so far?
A couple things going on at the parks. Legacy Park, we're doing a concession stand. They just started in the last 2 weeks. So that's a big addition to that park. As for the other parks, we've been doing playground inspections and making sure all the equipment's up to par. I think we've got to add some rubber mulch in a few playgrounds. Over at Heritage, we're going to be adding a new baseball shed, or baseball and soccer shed for storage in the current location. And I think baseball is ready to start here in the next few weeks. I don't know the exact date, but...
I talked to a gentleman over the weekend in regards to that shed too, and when we do that, we're going to put some gutters on that garage. Check and see the building that was built several years ago that has the, not the concession stand, but the announcer's booth at the baseball field, I don't know, field 1 or whatever they call that one over there. Check and see if that's got gutters on it or not. I don't know. Okay, that's something else. As long as we have somebody there putting gutters on, we need to put gutters on that too.
Okay.
And the other thing I saw, a note today that, give me an update on pickleball courts. With the wind blocks.
Yeah, something we're going to get a windscreen for, to go around the existing fence. It's not a big cost, and there's been a couple of comments of that help out with playing pickleball because it's a wiffle ball and if it's too windy. And actually we're kind of working on a couple of inside fences for the north and south to keep balls in play and not affecting the courts on the backside of each court. So just a couple of the critiques from last year that we're going to try to improve on.
Perfect. That's all I've got.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Martin. Public Safety and Health, Mrs. Dole.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any action items on the agenda tonight. My next public safety meeting is on Wednesday, April 13th at 7 a.m. in the Village Boardroom. And my safety tip is, while warm weather is right around the corner and we've had 60 to 70 degree days, slick roads can still be a problem. Just last Friday, a combination of rain, snow, and a cold morning wreaked havoc on the roads. Within 1 hour that morning, there were more than 20 accidents in our area. Fortunately, most of those caused only property damage, but drivers must remain vigilant and alert any time when driving, but especially in changing weather conditions. And that's all I have, although I did want to mention that I think we have Shred Day, don't we, coming up in May 7th? Is that when our 10 to 12 here? I know it's on the day of First Communion, so I think it's May 7th or whatever, so just want to remind everyone from 10 to 12 across the street here in the parking lot for that time, so that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Dole. Planning and zoning, Mr. Crockett.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any items on the agenda this evening, but we do have a planning and zoning committee meeting scheduled for Tuesday, April 26th, 7 a.m. here in the village boardroom. The next planning commission meeting is scheduled for April 12th, 6 p.m. here in the village boardroom. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Crockett. Finance, Mr. Geske.
Thank you, Mayor. I have Resolution 2128, a resolution of the Village of Manteno for receiving and placing on file the preliminary budget for the fiscal year period of May 1, 2022 through April 30th, 2023. I also have payment of bills in the amount of $118,048.95, which includes TIF bills from TIF 1 of $18,800, and bills authorized and paid between board cycle are $39,885.20. Our next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for April 13th at 7 a.m.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that, we're already, placing the new budget on file. The next board meeting will be approving the new budget that's going to start May 1st. Another fiscal year will be behind us. So time's moving pretty fast. So. Thank you, Mr. Geske. General Government, Mr. Phillips.
I have nothing on the agenda, Mayor.
Okay. So the items to vote on the consent agenda are as follows. Under old business, we have nothing. Under new business, we have resolution, the Village of Manteno receiving and placing on file the preliminary budget for the fiscal year period May 1, 2022 through April 30th, 2023. Awarding the bids, we have a motion to approve a 3-year maintenance service contract with Scenic Landscaping of Manteno to maintain specific parks for $17,600 per year. Item number 2 is a motion to waive bid requirements and award a bid for stonework on the Manteno Gateway columns to Knott's Masonry and Construction, Inc., Manteno, Illinois, for a cost at $53,800. And a motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $118,048.95, of which $18,800 are TIF bills. Are there any items on the consent agenda that need to be voted on individually? Seeing none, I'd accept the motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of passage of the agenda items as read.
So moved.
Motion by Geske, second by Phillips. Roll call.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Motion carries. I accept the motion to approve by unanimous vote the orders, motions, orders, and contained in the consent agenda as read. Motion by Martin, second by Boyce. Roll call.
Martin?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Not a whole lot of business tonight. Mr. Boyce, do you have any comments you want to
Not
talk
tonight,
about?
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Martin,
Nothing.
Mrs. Dole.
Well, we'll see you at the Easter egg hunt, hopefully. Hopefully, we'll have good weather. So,
Mr. Crockett.
No comments, Mayor.
Mr.
I have
Mr.
nothing.
Guest- Mr. Phillips. The only things I want to talk a little bit about is that as the parks get open and get busier, as we have in other years, we are experiencing some damage to the parks. Most all of our parks, especially in the downtown area, are all under video surveillance, and the damage that gets done is generally minor, but it requires Public Works to go and to get involved in repairs, and sometimes we have to call in electricians or other people to come in and fix things. We've had continual problems with the fireplace getting kicked, the screen getting kicked in, with lights being broken, with I know we have some damage now with the zip line. I don't know if that's where some of it might be general wear and tear, some of it's just abuse. And we've always very often the people who are the perpetrators continually get caught by the police because they're on camera. and they have to go to the parents, and the parents, have got to pay for some of the damages, and potentially the kids could be charged depending on the seriousness of the offense. But all that takes time and effort that could be used to devote to other things. I mean, the policemen have got a lot of things to do. Every time that, there's damage to something, we've got to, look through the video and find out who did it, and then obviously that person's got to be identified, and whether it's through the police department or through them working in cooperation with the school district, then the kid has to get picked up, and the parents got to be involved, and there's, absolutely nothing is accomplished by kicking over the lights and by damaging the property and by ruining the screen at the fireplace, except getting the kid a bad reputation and having to pay money to the village or his parents to pay money in order to fix the stuff. So, if we could please, we try to supply a lot of nice, things that are out there. We try to make sure that things are clean, that we, empty the garbage, and that we try to keep things picked up. But please, stop doing the damage. There's no benefit to anybody, and it's all detrimental to not only to the village, to the community, and I don't know who they're trying to impress, but they're not impressing anybody by getting a criminal record because you're damaging things. And a lot of times the parents get put in bad situations because they want to defend their children and say that it's not them, but it's pretty hard to argue with the videotape of the people doing what they're doing. And I realize that when the kids get, with a group of other, youth, sometimes they develop a personality that might not be what they normally do, but still doesn't justify the damage that's being done and the money that it takes in order to fix the things and the time that it takes away from doing other things that are more important that need to be done. But we're not going to ignore it, and we're going to continue to investigate it, and we're going to continue to go to, pick the people up and to, hold them accountable, and whether it's the students or the children or the parents or, the teenager or the young adult or old adult, whoever it might be, the camera doesn't lie very much. And, like I said, we're continuing to put more and more cameras around town, through the village, through the PD, in cooperation with a lot of businesses. We've got a lot of businesses in town that cooperate with us to be able to access their cameras and see what's going on in their facilities. It's only good for the whole community to be able to monitor that thing. And so please, don't do the damage. But if you do, you can pretty much be assured that you're on camera doing it, and somebody's going to be paying you a visit. So, but it's a lot easier to just avoid doing it, period. One thing that's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks, too, is I know the Legion is sponsoring a 5K run. I assume that the PD and Public Works has been in contact with them about blocking off the streets. I know they did it last year, and they have a big turnout. I think they're expecting a lot more even this year, so I'm assuming that the Public Works and PD has got people assigned to be able to make sure that's taken care of. I have nothing further. I would accept the motion to adjourn.
I'll make that.
Motion by Boyce.
I'll second.
Second by Dole. Roll call.
Boyce?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much for coming, for watching.